price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Let me turn my laptop light up. Laptop light is down. Black first, everybody. How are you guys doing? All right. How was y'all day today? My day was crazy. It was interesting. All right. We're going to get into it. First off, I want to say thank you guys, all of the support. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I said this not too long ago. We've been having a little bit of a hiccup, but we've overcame. All right. And we're starting to pick back the momentum up, which is good. This is what we need in order to get this goal by the deadline, which is the end of the year. So we will get it. So thank you very much for being here. Real quick, we see our brothers and our sisters in here. Prince Majestic is in here. Isaac is in here. Rachel is in here. Derek, Seven, Hurricane, all of you all, Switchblade, Royal Me, Donna, thank you so very much for being in here. And all of the people, okay? I don't want to spend too much time, all right? So, I would say really this week, I've been at a lot of different events and stuff like that due to the growing migrant, illegal immigrant crisis that we have going on here in Chicago. We all know about it, right? So there was Tuesday, a city hall meeting. Tuesday, there was a city hall meeting. Monday, there was another meeting. There was like a rally thing that I went to. That's why my broadcast was late Monday, because I was over there. And that was smooth. That was cool. People was on game about that. So Tuesday, what had happened was I was at a city hall. Now, all of this stuff adds up. You guys want to get locked in, stay locked in, because all of it adds up, right? So Tuesday, the city hall meeting, it announced and it said it started at 9 o'clock. That's what the website said. So with Chicago parking, especially when you're downtown, you're going to have to be there early to get some good parking. You're going to have to be there early. I wasn't able to really make it that early or whatever the case is. And I didn't want to be at the back. I was able to make it not as early as I wanted to, but I didn't want to be at the back of the line. So I went into a garage and I parked in the garage. That Chicago is the garages, I'm going to tell you, the garages are very expensive. Okay. And I normally don't park there. My ticket was like $60-something. My parking ticket at the garage was like $60. I was like, damn, oh my God. Anyway, so I'm at the meeting. Crowd full of people, flooded with people. Crowd absolutely flooded with people. All right, let me show you. Real quick. This is what it was looking like. Let me take it back a little bit. So yeah, it was jam packed. Okay, now mostly everybody was there talking about the immigration problem that we got going on in Chicago. There's other people who are there talking about other city issues that the city has, and they want to voice that in the city hall meeting. But mostly it was that. Now, when I went there, I saw some black people holding up some Donald Trump stuff. I saw some of that. I saw some black people, and then there was some signs, and I was a little confused about what side people was on in the beginning, because I saw some people was all like, "Let Chicago vote," or let Chicago vote. So I'm thinking like, okay, what does that mean? Like, let Chicago vote. So I'm seeing a bunch of black people holding that. So I'm thinking that that essentially means let Chicago decide if we gonna accept them. And then I started seeing some Hispanics coming in saying that. I was like, okay, so what does that mean? I was able to meet some brothers and sisters who knew me. They was like, hey, what's up, Afro? So I'm sitting up there talking to them. And as I'm talking to them or whatever, now, mind you, I'm kind of right in the beginning of the line. Because right when the line got formed, I got right in it. So it was only like 4 or 5 people ahead of me in line. Okay, hundreds of people behind me, 4 or 5 people ahead of me. So I'm standing in line, I'm talking to some people, then other groups of people, because if you guys, well, for the people who've been to City Hall in Chicago, know there's like 2 entrances. Okay, so there's one entrance that goes up to City Hall, and then there's like another entrance. It's one building, but it's like almost 2 different sections of the building. So I'm in line, and everybody's coming in from one section getting in line. But with the elevators, the way the elevators were set up, the door is right kind of closer to the elevators. So then people started coming in the other way. And then people was all like, oh, you ain't gonna cut me in line. So everybody started like moving around. That's why you saw this. It looked like everybody, because there's still some people in line. Hold on, there's still some people in line. But when you look and it got more packed than this. It got more packed than this. So, mind you, I'm in line. It's like 9 something in the morning, like 9 something in the morning on Tuesday. I'm in line. We waiting. Now we seeing the staff, the press, all that stuff. We seeing them go up. Right? Then it's like it took like 2 hours. It took about 2 hours for them to let us up. So you guys know that in Chicago, the City Hall meeting where you see all the stuff pop off, that's on the 2nd floor. So it took like 2 hours. It's like it passed 11 o'clock, and they just started letting people up. Now there was some people coming from the other side. There was a white dude. It was coming from the other side, or whatever the case is. And mind you, at this time, I'm not even really saying nothing, because I'm starting to see people getting agitated. People like, man, I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna do this. So people getting agitated. So I'm just like peeping game about everything. Then this white dude come up, and he kind of just like inch his way in line or whatever to the front of the line. And everybody's like, no, man, that white dude cut. So I was all like, okay, I'm just not gonna let him cut. I'm just not gonna do that. The second they let us, listen, what my plan was, the second they start letting us through, I was just about to jump ahead of them. I was about to stand there like a guard. I was about to let all my, because there was some B1 brothers and sisters. I was here in black first. I was literally about to stand there and block this white dude, just so everybody, even if I had to go after them, I wasn't just gonna let this white dude cut everybody, right? So they didn't let him. We go up there. Now we in the second room. Now this is the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor is a big hall. It's elevators. You get off the elevators. Then there's a line that wraps around. It's like a rope that blocks the line off. The rope leads to a metal detector. The metal detector, you get scanned through the metal detector, and then they let you in, and you turn the corner, you make a right, and right there is the room for the city council meeting. So when we get there, all of a sudden they stop. They not letting nobody through. And now we in the front of the line, they not letting nobody through. Mind you, this is like 11 something, right? A little past 11. So we sitting there when we just waiting. They starting to let the staff through. So I'm not even really tripping. I'm all like, okay, y'all trying to let the staff, the camera people come in. I'm thinking it's going to be a few more minutes because they just let us up. It took us 2 hours just to get upstairs anyway. All right. So people were already kind of irritated. You have senior citizens who kind of tired of standing. So all of a sudden, then they sitting up there, not now, about 30 minutes passed. We standing, mind you, it's 2 hours since we was on the 1st floor in line at 9 o'clock. Then about 30 minutes passed, and we sitting up there on the 2nd floor. So we sitting up there looking like this, right? So as you can see right here, now look at this line. This is the people they was letting up. And I'm recording everything, because what they're doing, they sitting up there letting certain people go through, and we standing there for about 30 minutes. Okay, it's close to 12 o'clock at this point. We standing there for about 30 minutes, and they not letting nobody through the metal detector. So let me just sum up the line. Everybody see up there now. The people you see with the pink slips, you have to sign up to be a speaker. Okay. Now you can see off to the end behind those ropes and all that. Those are the people they was just kind of letting through because they was being quote unquote escorted, right? Even though they was just getting on the elevator, walking around the ropes, and then just going in the room. And we've been standing there for 30 minutes and they ain't been. Now, mind you, if you look at where I am, I'm pretty much at the front of the line because I was at the front of the line from the beginning. So we just standing through and you starting to see the tensions get raised, right? Look. So people sitting up there, look, you see them, they just walking through.
Yeah, put your head down. You're embarrassing.
Walking through, and we all like, so people was getting upset, right? So then things started to get a little tense because at this point there was one black dude. It was one black dude who I guess he kind of went around the rope a little bit or something like I don't know what he did exactly, but we saw one of the officers like pin him up against the wall. So then everybody started looking like, oh, it's about to be up in a second. Even I was, I had a hoodie on and I'm quiet the whole time because I'm peeping game from everybody because I'm seeing cops. Because what happens, I'm gonna slow down and say what I've experienced and stuff like this. The cops that you see are not all the cops that are there. All right. Let me say that again. The cops that you see are not all the cops that are there. So you will have like 4 or 5 cops in the front, and then you will have another 4 or 5 cops in the back around the corner. So you know what I'm saying? So if somebody tries something, they're going to jet around the corner. You even have some dogs back there. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking around the corners and I'm seeing little shadows and little figures and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, there's more security than what they trying to like let on to. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. So I'm peeping that. Then the other brother, he get pinned up for some young brother. He get pinned up or whatever the case is. So the cop got him pressed against the wall, and he like doing like this with his finger. Don't you do that? Don't you do that? So everybody after that, it's like up because mind you, we've been sitting up there damn near waiting for like 3 hours in line to get in this meeting. Folks been here for I got there a little before 9. Folks was there since 7 o'clock in the morning. It's about 12. It is about 12 o'clock and we still haven't even got in the room for the meeting. So people is mad. What I did, I had a hoodie on, right? What I know, and of course, you guys know I am absolutely not a violent person. I do not condone violence. No. But anyway, so in situations, if you notice a lot of street fights, what happens with a lot of street fights is people tend to grab on people's clothes. And that's what was happening with me when it came to people cutting me in line. People was pulling me or whatever the case is. So I had a hoodie on and I had like a jacket, a jean jacket over the hoodie. So what I did, I buttoned up the jacket so it's not as easy to pull on. And then I tucked the hood from the hoodie and I tucked it into the jacket so people can't like yank at the hood. Cause I'm sitting up there thinking that's right around this time. I'm gonna show you this next clip. Right around this time, I'm sitting up there thinking like, hey, it's really about to be up at this point. So look at this, y'all. So hold on, let me take it back. So at this point, you can really hold on. I don't know why. Come on.
We've been here for 20 minutes.
Y'all not gonna do that. And it's not falling now.
That white dude, he come around the corner. I don't know what he is or whatever. He come around the corner because then people was start talking about, hey, let's just go. People was starting to murmur that, like, hey man, let's just kind of go. So I'm sitting up there, of course, being the pacifist. you know, that I am, and trying to keep the peace and everything. I wasn't condoning doing anything that's against the law or, you know, anything like that. I was just observing the situation, but I was just noticing people were saying that. So then once people were starting to say, hey, let's you know, get the line, let's get the line or whatever, then this other dude come around and he's starting to settle people down. Then, like I said, all of these cops just started coming from out the cut. And I want you guys to be aware, every single time stuff like this happens, there's always every protest you think you go to, every event or anything like that, there's always cops or security or someone like that around the cut, ready for something to pop off. And the second something pop off, they right there. It's always an extra bouncer, it's always extra security, it's always extra this, and they just be right around the cut. You know what I'm saying? Because they like to do it gives the people an element of surprise. You know what I'm saying? It catches people off guard because they don't plan for more cops to be there. So once they started hearing that, then a whole bunch of cops just started coming around the corner or whatever the case is. So they seeing all this tension rise and all that. So then they was all like, oh, we at capacity. We at capacity now. Mind you, from the first video I played, I want you to peep. From the very first video, I'm standing right here. You can see it's like, what, 5 people or something ahead of me. You can see it's about 5 people ahead of me. And then in this video, you can see it's about the same amount of people. And I'm showing you this to say the line has not moved. The line hasn't moved. We've been here collectively about 20, really somebody said 20, really about 30 minutes, to be honest, because it's close to 12 o'clock around this time. It's like 11:50, 11:45, 11:50. So it's close to 12. The line ain't moved at all. So then what they do is they say stuff like, then this other captain or whatever, the lieutenant, whatever he was, he come around the corner, he be all like, hey, we maxed out with capacity. We maxed out with capacity. Y'all got to go to the 3rd floor. And I'm sitting up there. We like, I even said it because at first I wasn't even talking. Then I said it. I was all like, oh, what do you mean you maxed out with capacity? Y'all ain't been letting nobody in the room. How y'all maxed out? He's like, oh, it's a fire hazard. It's a fire hazard. We above code. And as this is going on, we seeing more people get off the elevator and go around with the in the room. And I'm all like, you telling us that the room is full because of a fire hazard, and seeing you let people up in here. And then he all like, well, no, that's what I was told. That's what the sergeant told me. The sergeant told me that. And I'm all like, okay. So I'm talking, some people getting going to the 3rd floor, right? And I'm like, we've been waiting for like 30 minutes here collectively, 30-some minutes here. I'm not trying, and I'm at the front of the line. This is why I get frustrated, because I'm at the front of the line. I'm not trying to get back in line and get to the back of the line to go to the 3rd. I'm not trying to do that. I'm at the front of the line now. I'm trying to get in here now. What do you mean? It's full and you letting people up in here? And then he all like, well, sometimes where, you know, it might be full for the people, but not full for the press. Look, I said fires don't work like that. Fires don't burn regular people and then not burn the press. And they were sitting up there letting speakers through. I'm all like, so you mean to tell me if I'm not a speaker, it's a fire hazard, but if I'm a speaker, it's not a fire hazard? That don't make sense. I'm all like, who? I'm like, that don't make sense. Y'all lying. So people started recording me in the interaction I had with the captain. So I'm sitting up there, I'm going back and forth with the captain, and he was all like, well, it's not my decision. It's the fire lieutenant, it's the fire surgeon, whatever his name is. And then I was all like, okay, well, what's his name then? And he was like, I don't know. So I'm like, y'all, I'm sitting up here, damn near been waiting for 3 hours in line. And now you tell me I got to go upstairs and get back in the back of the line. I'm sitting up there kind of frustrated a little bit. And now you sit, and the cops, the Chicago cops, sitting up there playing like they don't know nobody's name. Like, I don't know the sergeant name. I was just told on this. I don't know. So we sitting up there, you know, I'm going at them or whatever the case is. Then eventually I go upstairs because he was all like, hey man, it don't matter what you say, don't matter what you do, no matter how mad you get, I'm not letting you through. I'm not letting you through. So I'm all like, all right, okay. Before we get too late, let me go upstairs, right? So I go upstairs. Oh yeah, I was much bigger. And when I was doing that, a lot of the security was coming around, and they kind of like stood there because I'm bigger than everybody, essentially. I wasn't the biggest person there. There was some really big brothers there, but I was bigger than all the police officers. I was like towering over the little cop I was talking to. I was like towering over him. I'm sitting there looking down, talking to this dude because I'm a big dude, so I'm looking down, talking to this dude, and all of these other cops shorter than me. All these other cops around, like, oh, this might be a problem. So, I'm like, all right, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs. So I go upstairs. I get in the line or whatever the case is, and go through the metal detector. Now, what happens is upstairs on the 3rd floor, there's not like an open room where you can speak or even see the audience. It's like you in a small little box room, and there's a window. There's a window, and that's it. And you can hear the speakers. So you can see like the alderman, you can see Brandon Johnson, you can see that. But and now, mind you, Brandon wasn't there. Brandon was not there Tuesday. You can see that, and then that's it. So we sitting up there, we waiting. Mind you, it's past 12 o'clock. I've been there since 9. Some folks been there since 7, right? It's past 12 o'clock. And then we sitting up there waiting. I'm just sitting down. I'm like, okay, let me just sit down. Been standing for 3 hours. I kid you not. Next thing I know, they say the meeting has been rescheduled to Thursday. I was like, everybody was immediately after that, they was like, the meetings have been rescheduled to Thursday. Immediately after that, lights went off. I swear to God, immediately they was all like, I'm sorry, we have to make this announcement. The meeting has been rescheduled to Thursday. Bam, dark. We like, what the hell? So everybody's like, wow. So people getting mad. Then they going downstairs. I'm all like, yeah, let me get out of here, man. Let me get out of here. Now, let me show you. I think this is a clip. Let me show you this. Because this is why, because I was asking like, hey, why did they shut the meeting down? What's going on? What's going on? And this is what was going on why they stopped it. Let me show you real quick, y'all. Hold on. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Because now, mind you, there's one going on today. There's literally one today right now. They wouldn't let me through. Let me tell hold on. Before I do that, let me tell you, y'all, I've been having a week, right? I go to the one today, right? I get there. It started at 4. I'm a little late trying to find parking or whatever. So I get there. It's like maybe 4:20 or something. I'm in line. Me and it's a small group of white folks. We in line, right? I'm starting to see people watching. So Brandon is there. I'm starting to see people watching live stream. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get up there. I know I'm late, so I'm probably not gonna speak because I know the speaker's line gets super, super long. So a cop was all like, hey, I can let y'all up on the 3rd floor. I can escort you on the 2nd floor, I mean. So he let us up on the 2nd floor. So we all walking, we walking in the city council room. So we walking. I'm the only black guy. I am literally the only black guy. So as we walking, one white cop, he seeing everybody walk, he stopped and he reached his hand out and stopped me. I'm in the middle. He stopped me. There's 2 other white folk behind me. He let all these other white folk go. He just looking. The second he see me, he reach out and stop me. And then, I was like, what's the problem? And he was all like, you with South Suburban? I'm like, huh? What do you mean? He's like, are you with South Suburban? I'm like, no, I'm by myself. And then he was all like, I'm gonna need to see your badge. I said, what badge? Like, I'm not here to like represent. I'm not with the press. I mean, technically, I am kind of like the press. I am, but I'm like, nah, I ain't like with no no organization or no press or nothing like that. And then you're like, oh, okay, we can't let you through then. I'm like, what? Now, mind you, the white folks ahead of me, they didn't let nobody go. So then I'm all like, all right, okay, fine. So I go to the 3rd floor, and the second I go to the 3rd floor, they were sitting up there like, who let y'all up in here? We all like, the cop, he put the thing in the elevator. We came upstairs. He's like, we full to capacity. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right, okay, let me just get back. Because I knew I had to do a live anyway. But they singled me out. And I'm sitting, I was sitting up there trying to like keep my head down a little bit. I was trying to keep my head down a little bit because I was getting into it with multiple officers Tuesday. I'm sitting up there like, that don't make sense. Y'all lying, y'all. So I was a little, I wasn't like snapping off, cursing them out. I wasn't sitting up there doing that like that. I wasn't being crazy, but I was having like a back and forth with them. And then today, they sitting up there, they was all looking at me. They was like, when they saw me, and I stood out like a sore thumb. I was the only black dude there at the time when we went upstairs. So I stood out like a damn sore thumb. So they saw me, and that's what the officer, the second he saw me, he reached out. He was like, oh, hold on, where are you from? They didn't let me through. They did not let me through. But now, this is what happened the other day or whatever. Let me shrink it so I can, because I like to have it big screen like that. So hold on, let me show it to you guys. Let me show it to y'all. Yeah, they peeped me out. They knew who I was. I was like, all right, okay. And I'm all like, I ain't even gonna try to fight it. The reason why I didn't like stay and try to fight it or whatever, or try to find another spot, was because I'm like, yeah, it's Thursday. I'm about to go live anyway. So now this happened like right when the meeting started popping off. I'm telling you, it was tension, right? Oh, hold on. Let me play this. Y'all know how we got to do. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So this is the news clip, right? So check this out.
Status as a sanctuary city for migrants, evolving into shouts and accusations. Chicago's longtime status as a sanctuary city for migrants, sparking a firestorm of debate, a group of frustrated city council members failing in multiple bids to vote to put a referendum on the ballot come March.
We're getting the lights right now.
The lights going off in the midst of today's chaotic debate.
Now you can see how you know is that because I literally know what they was wearing. I saw that white lady. You don't see Brandon. Brandon ain't there. Brandon was not there.
Imaginable ending to the day's frenetic back and forth, aldermen and women arguing about what constitutes a quorum.
Motion to adjourn the proper way. Is that with or without light?
For the sanctuary city referendum vote to happen, there needs to be at least 26 council members present. The fractured body throughout the contentious day making multiple attempts to vote, but coming up short.
It's becoming very frustrating to get business done in the appropriate manner.
I'm at loss for words, a lot of time being wasted.
Dozens of aldermen arguing for a March referendum to allow citizens to vote on Chicago's decades-old sanctuary city status.
Let's get this on the ballot. Let's see how people feel about it.
We have 20,000 migrants today. So what is the price tag on that now? And we can't get solid answers.
That policy was set back in 1987. Things have changed dramatically. I don't think we ever envisioned 20,000 migrants being sent to Chicago in buses.
But others arguing that the debate is counterproductive.
I don't think we want the city where people are kicking in doors of AR-47s, rounding up people that they think are illegal.
People attacking our sanctuary city ordinance in this moment are engaging in demagoguery.
And so we've had an opportunity to meet with the chief of staff and senior advisor of the president.
In Washington, D.C. today, Mayor Brandon Johnson joining his counterparts from New York, Denver, and other big cities, pleading for more federal funding to deal with the migrant crisis.
This financial dynamic has caused a tremendous burden on our local economy.
Now, That's what the tension was about, because everybody's sitting up there knowing, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to stall, because they know for a fact if they let the people vote on whether Chicago stays a sanctuary city or not, it's not going to be no sanctuary city. It is not going to be a sanctuary city if they let the people vote. So this, especially with how the tension and the amount of people that were there, they was all like, okay, we got to stop this. And I showed y'all the news clip to let y'all know they did not exaggerate at all. The second they said, hey, the meeting's over, bam, lights went off. Lights went off and people just started leaving. Oh my God. Oh my God. So there's been a whole bunch of stuff happening, right? But you starting to see they're starting to bring their little operatives out. They're starting to bring like little organizations. Now you starting to see, or for the people in Chicago, starting to see a whole bunch of other little organizations, these Black and Brown coalition organizations, these I want to help immigrant organizations just popping up out of nowhere. All of these little organizations coming up and popping up out of nowhere trying to help the migrants, right? So they got news conferences. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this real quick. I gotta get this off the screen. Hold on. Let me show y'all. So they got little organizations, pretty much stunt organizations, to make it seem like, oh, you know, Black and Brown, and we're in this together, and we want them to love. And so look at this, y'all. Look at this.
Began trying to get the wording straight on what could possibly be a ballot question to Chicago voters on the city's sanctuary city status, whether or not people want to keep that status or not. However, it really turned into chaos after that at that meeting. And as you know, people have some very strong feelings on this question.
Exactly. Somebody said in the chat room, controlled opposition. This is what I've been saying this for months. That we got to peep when stuff is controlled opposition. And I'm going to show you how it's controlled opposition in a minute. I'm going to show you in a minute.
Instead of discussing Chicago's migrant crisis and sanctuary city status inside City Hall this morning,
This is what unity looks like.
dozens rallied outside with a clear message.
When we organize, we win. When we are divided, we lose.
Organizers from several community groups representing Black and Brown communities wanted to show that
You see this? Hold on. Look, peep the signs, y'all. Peep the signs. You know, divide, power, and all that stuff. Look
organizers.
We support care with diversity and respect for all. Look at all these little signs and these ICIRR little organizations that nobody know where they come from. Now, somebody said, where the lady come from? We don't know who this lady is. She ain't really known in the community, but they give her a microphone. I'm telling you, they're very selective with who they be giving microphones to.
When we are divided,
some of the signs.
Organizers from several community groups representing Black and Brown communities.
They represent build Black and Brown and immigrant power together. Really? Really? Now, one of the things that we've been doing pretty much all year, we've been monitoring specifically Chicago. Now, we've been talking about the immigration crisis all over America, but we've been very specific and focused on Chicago as it pertains to all these illegal immigrants, right? And we have seen, even since the Lightfoot administration, we've seen Black Chicago reject them and say, hey, they need to go. They need to bounce. Almost every single city hall town meeting I've showed you guys all year, for the most part, you saw majority of Black folks sitting up there be all like, they need to leave. They need to go. So Black people, and I'm going to show you all a clip right after this, just to verify what I'm saying right now. Black people are not on that type of page. That's not what the community is on at all. So these people are selected to be out here, to be in front of the camera, and to be out like Black and Brown together, and we doing this together. This is controlled opposition, because they already see what's going on in City Hall. So what they trying to do now, they need a Black face to Black and Brown it up. That's what they trying to do.
Communities wanted to show that they are united in defeating any attempt to put Chicago's welcoming city ordinance up for a vote, non-binding or not.
It does nothing but sow harmful division. It does not address the solutions our city and new arrivals are facing, and it does nothing to address the challenges of disinvested communities that have been here for generations in the city.
Let's clear the room, Sergeant in Arms. Please clear the room.
Tuesday's meeting to discuss the ballot question quickly turned into chaos with at least one.
You see, these were the people that was in the meeting. If you saw from the other clip I was showing you, these were the people who were sitting up there standing in line when I was downstairs. So you know this is the same day. They wearing the same outfits.
Person being detained by police.
This is why they closed it all down. To see that bald-headed lady that skipped the line? I know, I'm looking. This is the same exact clothing they were wearing. This is why they shut the meeting down so early.
Police and the meeting being postponed. Antonio Gutierrez says he was the man detained.
I am extremely sad after seeing all the hate on Tuesday. Hate, especially coming from other oppressed communities. And I am extremely disappointed at the elected officials at City Council that are using this moment to push their anti-immigrant and xenophobic political agendas.
Now
that's a problem they wouldn't have to worry about if they was just going home. They could just go home. They could just go home. They could all just go home. Now, this is what they're going to show you on the news. Oh, there's a black and brown coalition and all that. No. It's not none of that. See, what they're trying to do is now they're trying to weaken and soften up the black, like the anger that the black community has. So they have faces out there and they'll be sitting up there like, oh, well, you know, all these black people are united together with the immigrants and they're black and brown brothers and sisters and we're in this together and we're doing this together. They're sitting up there trying to play. They're playing like that, right? That's not what the community is on. Let me show you this. Hold on. Let me make sure this is widescreen. Okay. Let me show y'all this real quick. Now, y'all saw what they just said. This is proof. This happened recently, too. And I've been showing you guys this for months. Look at this, y'all.
When do citizens of the United States of America come first?
On the southwest side, city officials getting an earful.
How about this? Give them all these politicians' addresses and put them in their backyards, in their basements, in their houses.
This meeting at Richard J. Daley College comes as the city, starting as early as this weekend, prepares to use this gymnasium until August 1st and 2 auxiliary classrooms on the campus through the end of November to shelter more than 400 migrants.
This is about being human and providing humane spaces for them.
I serve my country. We need to give these immigrants a chance.
But the
let's see. Now, let's be honest. We do always be having those, you know, handful of them who will sit up there and be all like, man, we need to help them and we need to understand where they're coming from and we all people of color together.
Igniting anger about how the city for decades has treated its poor.
We do not take care of our own people. There's no resources taken from our shelter system and the housing within our shelter system, as well as outreach agencies who are providing services on the street.
This gathering comes a day after the city council at a heated meeting approved $51 million in emergency migrant funding. That money only expected to last through the end of this month.
Now, I'm telling you that when they show you stuff like this, y'all, when they show you stuff like this, what they're trying to do now is now the media is going to be very selective with the stuff now remember, they were just showing you different clips, but now they're going to be very selective with the stuff they show you. Okay, now we're going to have a whole bunch more, and we've been seeing it, so we've been preparing for it, right? We've been preparing for a minute. But now we're going to have a whole bunch more controlled opposition. We're going to have a whole bunch more people sitting up there like, man, the whole black and brown, and we got to do this together. Now, there was another clip. Let me find this other clip. Let me find this other clip. Okay. This is only a small one. This is a very, very small one. Let me show you to you guys. Because what they're trying to do is they're stalling with a lot of these meetings and passing legislation behind closed doors. Where is it at? Okay, it's right here. Look at this.
Workers at the Selena Hotel, they are protesting sudden layoffs as the hotel prepares to house migrant housing. Workers say hotel management told them that they'd be terminated as of this coming Friday. Selena Hotel says that's because it could enter a sublease agreement requiring that the building be rented out to a third party. Workers say they are shocked because the hotel has housed migrants before without any.
Now what they're doing with this is they're sitting up there firing people because it's a whole bunch of, and remember, I've showed this before. It's a whole bunch of third party little organizations and third party stuff. So what they're going to do is be all like, okay, well, now this hotel is being leased out, so we're going to use their staff. So everybody's fired. Until then. So there's been a lot of protests going on. There's been a tremendous amount of protests going on in Chicago. So don't let nobody sit up there and make it seem like it's a black and now let me show you something else. I'm telling you, they're moving really fast now because they were not prepared for the anger that the black community was going to have. And so you know, the black community in Chicago has been leading this whole thing, because if you guys have been following, we've showed how the black community was the first one in Chicago and in other places to really stand up against the whole concept of these cities being a sanctuary city. Then after that, now you're seeing other groups of people, other ethnic groups of people. Now you're seeing the Asian community in Chicago. Now you're seeing the other Hispanic even community in Chicago. Some of the white communities in Chicago. Now, and not only that, in New York and DC, now you're seeing these other ethnic groups of people follow behind the lead of the black community in these other places. But they weren't doing that in the beginning. It was black people staying firm that's been keeping them like this. That's pushed them to be this way. Now check this out, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. This pilot program only applies to those migrants who've arrived in the U.S. before July 31st.
So they got a program. They got a program to expedite, to speed up them getting work permits. Now remember, if you guys don't remember, I literally went to one of the shelters and I did an interview with them. And I asked, hey, what is your processing, process? What is your application or citizenship process? And I showed it to you all. So you know I'm not lying or exaggerating. They said, oh, we're backed up. Our processing dates aren't even this year. Our processing dates are like next year, 2024, 2025, 2026. That's how backed up they are. So then nobody even knows who they are. All right. So quite literally, they can come over and say, hey, my name is Pedro. You ain't got no proof to prove he's lying. They can give you a fake name. They can have a fake ID. They could be a fugitive, broke out of prison and came to America. Be all like, I'm just here for work, but they're really here to escape the law back at their homeland. And you wouldn't know that because they're not being processed until they get in the city. So even despite the fact that they're not being processed until they get in the city, the government is speeding up them getting work visas. This is why it's important that you guys, if you haven't done so, be following, because we be keeping track of all this stuff so we can add it all up. You know what I'm saying? So when they come out with some BS, when they tell a lie, we already know what the truth really is because we've already discussed it.
Half of those who have come to Chicago can apply, but for them, it could be a game changer. A common goal of migrants coming to Chicago is to get a job, to support themselves and their families, and to get out of shelters or tents outside police stations. Today, the first 150 eligible new arrivals began the application process to get permits authorizing them to get jobs.
Immigrants are, are excited and they're happy to be able to receive the assistance that they need to be able to apply for work
Let me
permits.
ask the question. How do you get a work permit before you get a green card? Tell me how in the world that works. How do you get a work permit before you sit up there, even get a citizenship, before you get an ID, before you, or an American ID, or before you get you know what I'm saying, even a temporary citizenship status? This is why they're speeding all this stuff up. Because I'm telling you, what exactly like I showed you with the hotel, they're speeding that up because they're trying to replace us. They send up there firing staff, citizen staff, to look out for what they call asylum seekers.
They have a lot of questions about how fast they will get here. They have questions about how to find a job in the meantime.
Part of the process involves getting fingerprinted and having criminal background checks done. The application process is a joint effort with the Resurrection Project, the city, and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration
Now,
Service.
they say a criminal background check and everything. Remember in the video that I showed y'all, the video that I showed y'all, they were coming over here. They go to Home Depot. He said it himself out his own mouth. They'll go to Home Depot and they'll ask for work. Illegal work. They're illegally working in America when they go to Home Depot and ask for a job. They'll ask to pretty much help somebody paint their garage or fix their roof or window or whatever the case is. That's what they're doing. So you know they're already working here illegally.
The clinics being held at undisclosed locations.
If we're in a situation where we have too many people, we won't be able to serve everybody. And it may create a little bit more chaos than necessary, right?
The effort, the result of the city's request for help that began in September and led to a visit last month by a team from Homeland Security to assess the city's migrant situation.
Until about mid-February, there'll be a little over 30 sessions, and each one aims to serve 300 people, so that in this period we will be able to.
So okay, now she said there'll be about 30 sessions. Let's use the numbers, right? She said there'll be about 30 sessions, and each of the sessions will be able to hold about 300 people. That is close to 10,000. Even if the number she's saying is 100% accurate and not low, that's 9,000 people. That is 9,000 people.
Help approximately 11,000 people get their work authorization programs.
Now, then she said approximately. So, I mean, I guess the math she was using wasn't correct, because if it's 30 times 300, it's not 1,100. But anyway, 1,100 people get work permits. You would think that there's not a single unemployed person in the United States of America, by how they're trying to speed up all these work permits for everybody, for these other people in these other countries.
But for many in communities like Little Village, this new program is somewhat bittersweet, because while it's helping new migrants, many people who have waited for years.
Now, mind you, in Chicago, Little Village is a Hispanic community. Chicago's Little Village, that is his, you would think you're in Mexico. Anybody from Chicago knows Little Village is essentially Mexico. It's like Chicago's Mexico. All right. It's a whole bunch of them over here. And there are people who've been here for a long time who do not have social security numbers, who do not have legalized citizenship rights to be here. So you got people, and this is why a lot of them are feeling a little bit of tension in Little Village. And I'll say it, the media won't say it, because you got a lot of them coming over here who've been here for years illegally, and who've been trying to go through the process of getting a little work visas and stuff like that. They've been here for years trying to get little work permits and stuff, and they haven't been able to do that. Now all of a sudden you got these new people coming over from Venezuela and whatever the case, whatever other country, and they're getting work visas, and you got some of the folks in Little Village sitting up there getting mad because they sitting up there like, damn, I've been waiting for years, and now you let these people come over here and you just handing them work visas. So you got tensions going on even in the Hispanic community.
To get their work permits are still left waiting.
We have families that have been waiting for 15, 20 years.
If you were American, listen, y'all. If you are a legal American citizen, you don't need a work permit. I'm a foundational Black American. I don't need a work permit. I'm legally, this is my country. There's not a single person I know that needs or a single adult. If you like 15 years old, yeah, you need a permit from your parents, and that's it, because you underage. But there's not a single adult I know who needs a single citizen in America I know who needs a work permit. You would only need a work permit if you are not legally a citizen here. So he's sitting up there saying there's been people who've been waiting 15, 20 years. Why are they not citizens at this point? Why are they not citizens at this point? Let's ask that question. Let's connect these dots. Why would they need, if they've been here? Let's think about it. Let me pause this for a second so we can like let's connect the dots. Let's connect the dots, right? If people been here for 15, 20 years in America, why they shouldn't need no work permit? They should be a citizen. They should be a citizen. Why would they need a work permit? We connecting the dots. The reason why they need a work permit is because a lot of them, and the news won't say this, I will. The news won't, I will. A lot of them come over with little temp visas, little green cards, and they only supposed to be over for a temporary amount of time. And then they extend past their green cards. So what happens is they'll say, okay, we're here for a year. And when it's time for them to go renew, and if you guys have been following me, we've talked about the process of renewing your green card and everything. When the 2 years are up, because it's 2 years, when the 2 years are up and they got to renew their green card status, they don't go back. That's the thing. So they're not legally a citizen, but they had a little bit of temp help to help them out. So they don't have any documentation. This is why they need a permit. So not only are we having a whole bunch of illegals coming over here in recent times, this is something I've been saying. This has been a big problem for years, for a long, long time. This has been a very big problem for a long time. This is not nothing new. All right, so we're going to finish playing this little clip.
Reagan launched the last amnesty. So ever since then, people have been slowly trying to get their legal status, but all the barriers that USCIS puts is very hard.
Next week, I'm told nearly 500 immigrants, community leaders, and others from Chicago will be heading to Washington, D.C. to take part in a national rally on Tuesday to urge the Biden administration to extend work permits to all immigrants.
You see that? Do you see how entitled these people are? Now they're going to Washington. They are protesting in Washington, D.C. They going to Washington, D.C. to protest in a country they don't legally belong in to get some work visas. That is insane. That is literally insane. And that's what's going on. So this is why the folks in Chicago, the black folks in Chicago, all like, hey, all this temp status and not temp sanctuary city stuff, that needs to stop. That needs to stop, because what they're doing is you're giving them sanctuary cities rights. You're giving them that so they come here, they get a little bit of money, they get a little, they kind of get their foot kind of going, they kind of start getting the ball rolling, and then next thing you know, they in Washington, D.C. protesting. How you have a right to protest in a country that's not your country is beyond me anyway. How you gonna protest a government that's not your government is beyond me anyway. But okay, that's why we send up there like, hey, they need to stop coming over here. they gonna need to stop. Because what Biden's gonna do is Biden being like, well, yeah, okay, of course, we got to give them work permits. Look at how mad they got and everything. Now you got little organizations, these white-run organizations. When I was at City Hall today, there was a whole bunch of white people passing me out little flyers like, let's help the migrants, guys. They were passing me out little flyers. So you got a whole bunch of the dominant society coming over, and they developing little organizations to help them out with the replacement of us. We're replacing us. All right. So this is what they're working on. This is what they're doing. And when they have the city hall meetings or whatever the case is, if they see the stuff getting too tense, they'll just shut it all down. They'll completely shut it all down. I'm trying to see if I can find a little bit, because it was like popping off. I'm trying to see if I can find a little bit. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find this clip, because the meeting didn't go. It's not too many clips because the meeting didn't go on long. Damn near the second they started speaking, bam, the meeting was over. Damn near the second they started speaking. Listen, look.
To say the least, at City Hall right now, a special meeting to discuss Chicago's sanctuary city status and the chaos.
Yep, they had the cops out there with the bikes. You see all those people? That's because all those people was coming in. That's from the far exit. Now they blocked off the north exit. All right.
From it last week is paused for now. People were escorted out of chambers, and now they are all waiting to get back in. A huge crowd was formed, with more people showing up and security keeping the peace there, or at least trying to. And our Dane Placco joins us by phone with the breaking details. What's going on out there, Dane?
Yeah, I'm on the second floor just outside the council chambers right now. It has been a chaotic morning here at City Hall, reminiscent of the council wars back in the 80s. Some might say reminiscent of the Jerry Springer show. In fact, the Rules Committee hearing that started at 10:30 has now been suspended because of all the chaos here.
He just admitted it's been suspended because Chicago was turning up too much. They had to be like, all right, we got to stop. We got to let them go. That's why they rescheduled to Thursday. They rescheduled to like Thursday evening. The meeting started at 4:00 Thursday because they was like, oh, it's too turn. We can't do this.
A large contingent of very loud and very angry demonstrators that had taken over the gallery in the city council chambers. They're here to express their displeasure about Chicago's status as a sanctuary city. Some of those protesters had been kicked out of the Rules Committee meeting, which had to shut down because...
Now, mind you, look at this. This room don't look full, y'all. I'm seeing a whole bunch of empty seats. So when I told you I knew they were lying, that's because I knew they were lying, because I've been in this room before. I've been here before. I know how big this room is. I know it can hold more people than what they said it could.
Nobody could hear what anybody was saying. The crowd was yelling over everybody. You'll recall last week there was an attempt to take a vote on an ordinance that would create a referendum on next spring's ballot, allowing the public to decide whether Chicago should continue its status as a sanctuary city. That meeting never got off the ground, though, because they couldn't reach a quorum. Some aldermen saying the floor leader, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, was blocking other aldermen from getting into the meeting. Well, many African-American aldermen believe the city is spending way too much money to build shelters and house migrants and are ignoring the needs of their community. So today, hundreds of African-American protesters descended on City Hall to protest what's happening here.
Now, remember what I said. Remember what I said. It's the black community who's the one who's sitting up there leading this. It's the black community who's fighting against this, because they're sitting up there like hundreds of African Americans. They didn't say a crowd of angry folks. They all like, nah, it's these African Americans that are coming over here that's turning up. That's the problem. It was the foundational black Americans out here sitting up there getting some straightening going on. That's why they had to stop it. It's gotten so bad. We've been lighting a fire in some of the black aldermen. You got the black aldermen fighting the Hispanic aldermen in that meeting. That meeting was, I swear I wish I was in that room, but that meeting was turned up. All right. And they didn't even really get started. I'm trying to tell y'all, they barely got started before they shut the lights off.
Aldermen did bring up the sanctuary city issue briefly during the Rules Committee hearing this morning before it was shut down.
We're spending a lot of money. We're spending a lot of money every single day. I think we're up to 40 million a month now, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to 40 million a month.
40 million a month. Are y'all serious? That is quite literally one of the craziest things. That is insane. That is wild as hell. $40 million a month on people who are not citizens, on people you don't know. These people are coming over here spreading chicken pox, other diseases, committing crimes. While y'all sitting up there saying that the country's too broke for reparations, and y'all spending $40 million a month on some illegal Hispanics.
And to shut people out from having a voice is not what this city's foundation was built on.
This is what this question is causing right now. If we are a body of city council members that are elected to represent our residents and asking them a simple question because they are dying to be heard, and we're denying that, then we voided council. We are not representatives of our neighborhoods and our communities anymore. We're representatives of just this building. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to be answering to them. We're supposed to be answering to our neighborhoods.
So like I said, when you look it up, you ain't gonna see too much footage. At least the Tuesday, there's one going on today, and it was a lot more calm, whatever. So you might see some footage later on, like in the next couple days, but that's for the one Thursday. The one Tuesday didn't really last. The second they started speaking, you know what I'm saying? It was like 20 minutes, and then they shut the lights off.
And that's the way it was all morning. The crowd simply shouting down the aldermen. You couldn't hear what they were saying. The aldermen are in the city council chambers right now, just milling about. They're going to try to hold the regularly scheduled.
Now, even look at the time, y'all. This is how you know I was actually there doing everything I was supposed to be doing. The time I said it's 12 o'clock on this thing.
City council.
And what did I say? It was about 12 o'clock when they started saying it was full. That's why they're not letting these people upstairs anymore. Because it's 12 o'clock and they stopped letting people up because it was all full.
Was supposed to start at 11 a.m. They're going to try to hold it a bit later this afternoon. I've been talking to some aldermen in the area behind the council chambers. They say the referendum on the sanctuary city issue will likely come up again when the Rules Committee continues its suspended meeting, and that will be on Thursday. But they say they're going to have to find a way to keep control of the crowd. It's unclear whether the public will be allowed back into the council chambers for the regularly scheduled city council meeting. We so far have not seen the mayor, Brandon Johnson, who many aldermen are blaming for creating this mess.
See, what I tell you, Brandon wasn't even there. See? Now, I didn't even see this clip specifically. I was looking at a different one, but I didn't even see this clip. And this clip verified every single thing I was saying. Brandon didn't even show up, or at least he wasn't present. Nobody saw him. I'm not going to say he wasn't there, but nobody saw him. If he was there, he was off in some type of little closet or something like that. Brandon wasn't even there. And it's like 12 o'clock. That's when they first started talking, and you starting to see the aldermen get into it. People standing up, get escorted out. Bam, lights get shut off. Okay, we doing this Thursday. Because they like, it's too turnt. It's too turnt right now. So that's what Chicago is really at its boiling point. It's at its breaking point, where everywhere you go, now you starting to see black people all like, hey, they got to go completely. Now you starting to see controlled opposition. You starting to see a whole bunch of controlled opposition pop up. And all of the controlled opposition is sitting up there saying, oh, did black and brown, and we love the black and brown, and we want all the immigrants to come over, and this is a city of immigrants, and we're immigrants. You starting to see all that stuff happening, because what they're trying to do is counter all of the grassroots energy that we've been putting into them going away. So it's turned. It's turned. Let me get, I think it was a super chat. Shout out to Maria Morgan for the $20 super sticker. If you're still here, shout out to you, sister. Thank you very much, beloved. I was, you know how I be going. Yeah, New York too. Shout out to the black family, the FBA family in New York as well too, and other places that are having this. You say he was in Washington Tuesday. He was in Washington Tuesday. Oh, okay. Well, he wasn't there. See, he was in Washington. Probably asking for more damn money. He was in Washington. So, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Now he's there today. He's there today. But it was it's interesting. This is damn interesting. So we about to see Chicago is, and the thing is that since Chicago, and it's a good thing, Chicago, since it's a very major city, what happens in Chicago becomes national news. What happens in certain major cities tend to like spread out in national news. No diss to like some of the smaller cities, and I'm not saying that those cities are less important, but like if something really, really big pop off in Chicago or pop off in New York or pop off in LA or pop off in Atlanta, it's going to get national attention a lot quicker than if it popped off in, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and no diss to Chattanooga, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to blow up a lot faster. So what's going on in Chicago is starting to set the precedent, which is good. It's starting to really set the precedent to everything. Like, hey, we all need to, this all needs to stop. They all need to go. So that's a good thing. So now what we're looking forward to is Chicago got to stand firm, fight against this damn controlled opposition. And I was there today. I was trying to represent, but I guess I'm too well known, apparently, because there was some other people in the community who knew me. And let me tell you something. What the dominant society does is they peep out the people in the crowd who have some type of influence. They're very, very key with that. Ever since the civil rights era, this goes back to our history. Ever since the civil rights era, they are very, very hyper vigilant of any black person who has influence over a crowd of people. So any black person who they see the crowd is going to follow, bam, they looking at them. Any black person who they see is even popular, bam, they looking at them. So for the fact that when I'm talking, everybody's recording me or everybody's recognizing me or calling me out, because people calling me Afro and stuff like that, they see stuff like that and be all like, okay, gotta watch him. We know her. Like, they notice, like, okay, if you're a popular figure or if you're an influential figure in a crowd of black people, we got to keep our eye on you. That's why when I went there today, I'm sitting there walking. I'm not even around no black person. I'm just walking and it's like, hey, whoa. I recognize you. I'm not even trying to make eye contact. I'm just going into the meeting. And they stopped me specifically. It was like, where's your badge? Who are you with? I'm like, I'm not with nobody. You didn't ask the white folks ahead of me where they with and and they wasn't wearing no badge. They wasn't wearing no badge either. But you didn't stop them, but they single me out. And it was like, okay, you can't go. And the two other white people behind me, they was like, y'all can't go either. So they had to make a white sacrifice. But they stopped me. They wasn't letting me. I'm telling you, this man, he was sitting up there. He had like a piece of a tablet. He had like a tablet, and he's sitting up there looking at everybody go past me. He looking at this tablet. It's a notebook, but he looking at this tablet. Everybody going past me. He see me. He look up. He see me. He put the tablet down and stopped me. Like, oh, hold on. Where's your badge? You were South Suburban? I'm like, South Suburban. What is South Suburban? And he was all like, are you with South Suburban? I'm like, I don't know what South. I don't know what you're talking about. What is South Suburban? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I'm sitting up there asking, like, what is the problem? What's the problem? And he all like, I need to see your badge. I'm like, I'm not with no organization or nothing like that. I'm just here to be in this meeting. So, he wasn't playing. So I already kind of peeping out that I'm probably on some type of list or something like that, especially because I was kind of, you know, talking. I wasn't being violent or crazy, but I was kind of going back and forth with the officers, with a few of them, quite a few of them. I was going back and forth with the officers Tuesday, because I was mad, man. I was standing in line for 3 hours. I was kind of pissed off. I wasn't really trying to play that game. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. So I was upset. But now they know, but that ain't gonna stop nothing. That's not gonna stop nothing. That's not gonna stop nothing. Oh boy. Brothers and sisters, this is what's been going on. Yeah, he saw that melon. Yeah, he saw that, and I stood out. I stood out like a sore and I knew I was going to. I knew I was going to stand out like a sore thumb because I'm already big. I'm already bigger than everybody else, and I'm literally the only black person. I'm literally the only black person in this group of people. So I'm like, oh God. I knew I was gonna stand out. I was trying. Listen, y'all. I was trying to like not be. I wasn't like crouching down, but I was trying to. When I saw it was an older white cop. I was kind of going back and forth with. I was going back and forth with a few of them. I saw the older white cop, and I'm sitting up there looking and everything. Then look, he looked my way. I look like this. I'm sitting up there trying to walk fast. I look at him. I'm sitting up there trying to recognize him. He turned the corner a little bit and looked my way. I looked down like, oh shit. I'm sitting up there walking, trying to get past him or whatever. I think he was the one who kind of signaled to the other dude like, hey, that's him from the other day. And then that's when he looked at the tablet. He put the tab there. He's like, oh, what? Hold on. Where you with? Who you from? We're like, oh, I'm like, oh shit. They caught me. Next time I go one of these things, I'm gonna have I can't wear no ski mask. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Y'all. But yeah, I stood out. I knew I was gonna do that. And I wasn't even really late. They used the whole "we packed" excuse again. I'm all like, y'all, it's not packed. Y'all be lying about that every time. Y'all was not packed. They stood out like they was not letting me through that. They was not letting me through. I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. But it's all right. Yeah. I gotta go. Y'all saying I gotta go into disguise. I gotta look. I'm gonna dye my beard gray. I'm gonna have some gray hairs or something like that in my beard. I'm be kind of hunched over. I'm be walking with a cane and all that. I'm gonna sit up there. I gotta get my impressions, my old man impressions correct. I'm just here to see the men. I just want to know what's going on in the city of Chicago. I'm a come in like that or something like that. Or listen, and this is a crazy story. It's a crazy story. There was one time, years ago, a while ago, I was at an airport. I was having some issues, and I had to. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. But essentially, this a while ago, I had to wear a bunch of clothes. You know what I'm saying? On one point in time, because my bag wasn't. You know how it's sometimes in the airport they got like a section, right? And your bag got to fit in the section for it to go onto the plane. Otherwise, it got to go under the plane. So I put a bunch of shirts. I'm like layered up in shirts and jackets and stuff like that. So I'm wearing this big fat suit. I'm literally wearing a fat suit. So I don't want people to know that I'm wearing a fat suit, right? I don't want people to know I'm wearing a fat suit. So I had to pretend to be fat. I swear to God. I had to pretend to be fat. So I'm sitting up there. It was a messed up. It was messed up. I had to wear this. I'm sitting there wearing these clothes, and it's good too. It's good too because I'm wearing all these clothes, so I started sweating. So I'm like, okay, it's good. I'm in the mirror trying to stuff my stomach. I'm in the mirror stuffing my stomach, making sure the fat looked realistic. And look, so I had to walk. I didn't want people to know I was wearing all this extra stuff. So I'm sitting up there. I gotta walk. I'm sitting up there, not walking straight. I'm kind of walking from side to side. I'm walking from side to side like a fan. So I'm gonna have to do that next time. So if y'all see me, I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all see me in one of the meetings, be all like, damn, that's Afro Elite. And I'm sitting up there doing all like this, holding my stomach. I'm just trying to get in the room. I'm gonna have to do something because they was not letting me up in that room. They was not letting me in that room. I'm gonna be an old man or a fat man, but I gotta be something in order to get in that room because they was not letting me in there. That was crazy. He said I was like Roland Martin. Oh yeah, I'm saying I had to do it. Look, I even tucked my neck in a little bit so I could have like a double chin. I sit up there, tucked my neck in, and I was hoping that my clothes wasn't. I had to like tuck it so it could be fat. So I'm kind of holding my stomach. I'm holding my stomach and kind of waddling around like a fat dude. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was a story. That was that. I said I got crazy stories sometimes. Yeah. But I got to do something. I'm gonna have to wear a damn Mission Impossible disguise. I need a turtleneck. Maybe I should wear a turtleneck. You know what I'm saying? Help me look a little bit fatter or something. Y'all give me some in the comment section. Y'all give me some disguises that I need to be wearing at the next meeting. I want to know I need to know some disguises. I'm gonna have a fat suit on or whatever the case is. I need to be an old man. I ain't gonna dress as no woman, so y'all don't even. I know y'all ain't gonna do it, but don't even do that. So I need to find some disguises so I can get into these meetings, y'all, because they not trying to let me in those meetings. I'm gonna need to be studying my accents. I'm gonna need to be studying a lot of my accents and everything like that, because I come in and they'll be all like, "Hello, how are you?" And I need to get my accents on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be wearing a big hat or something. I don't know. I'm gonna be having fake tattoos all in my neck or something like. I don't know what I need to do to get in these meetings. And then when I get into the room, I'm gonna go in the bathroom, take all the stuff off, and come out fresh. So I don't know what I need to do. I got to do something, y'all. You got to do something. Hey. Now I might need to set up there, be dressing like Clark Kent. You gonna see me? I'm gonna be having big ass goggles and everything like that. Like, hello, I'm a reporter for CNN, and I just want to come in here, and I'm a new internee because I'm young. I'm an internee for CNN or something like that. I'm gonna have to do something with some big goggles on or something like that. Well, and walking all scrawny, looking like, oh my God, my suitcase, something like that. I don't know. I got to do something. Be something. Family, Lord, but that's what I got to do. But I'm doing what I can, y'all, to make sure I get there so I can represent, so I can talk to the people, get the energy from the people, so I can see what everything's going on, and then report that back to you all. Report that back to you. So that's what I'm working on. He said, "Dress is Don Lemon." I don't know. I don't know what I need to do, but I'm gonna think of something. I'm gonna think of something. But with that being said, family, y'all should be following me on my various social media pages, which is Afro Elite on Instagram and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. All right. The links to both of those, of course, is in the description below. You guys make sure you guys follow that in the description below. Also, y'all make sure you guys leave a like, leave a subscribe button, leave a notification bell, or hit the notification bell. So we can be on our way to 10,000 subscribers. We are so very close, my brothers and my good sisters, to 10K. We are very, very close. Okay. So, yeah, definitely. I want to make sure that we do that. I'm definitely want to make sure that we do that. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters. Now, another thing, speaking of brothers and sisters, y'all don't leave yet. I did tell, he said, Corn, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I can practice some accents. I'm not bad with accents, so I'm going to have to practice my accents, y'all. I'm going to have to practice my accents. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, man, y'all be safe. Now, I did say one thing, though. I did say shout out to our good sister Zizi, because I said I was going to swing some of the traffic her way after my live. So I'm getting off and she's on right now. So what I have is the link to her thing in the chat room. So I'm about to get off here. When I get off, after you guys leave a like, don't y'all leave without leaving a like. Some of y'all do that and then come back and leave a like. Leave a like, leave a like, leave a like. Hit that subscribe. And then y'all can go. We be a family. I got to work on my English accent. I'm going to be a British actor. I'm gonna be a damn British actor and everything like that. Oh Lord, I don't know what I need to do. But yeah, y'all go over. I got it in the comment section below, y'all. I mean, not the comment section. I got it in the chat room. So y'all just hit that link in the chat room. Y'all swing over there. I'm about to get off here, my good brothers and my good sisters, my beloved brothers and my beloved sisters. And with that being said, B1 salute to every single last one of you all. And of course, you all have a good one.